Hey everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica. Today's video is going to be all about quick play games in your homeschool. I don't know about you, but I don't have hours some days. Some days we have lessons and I have housework and I have work and time gets away from me. And while I know that there's a ton of benefits to playing games and I know it's something we enjoy and it's like the one way Emily and I connect with each other, I just don't have a lot of time to set aside. So because of that, I kind of have what I call like our quick play games that I keep at the ready, and I can say, hey Emily, pull any game you want from this or pull any game you want from this, knowing that I have enough time to play those. So today I'm going to share with you our top games that play in under 10 minutes and under 20 minutes so that you too can add some more play to your homeschool without feeling like you need to set aside hours of your day. All right, let's start with games that play in under 10 minutes. So these are the games that we would play like as a transition. So to start our homeschool day or to transition from maybe like basket time to lesson time, or we're waiting for dinner to finish, or maybe they're the ones we even take with us on the go to play while we're at a restaurant or while we're waiting for a doctor's appointment. They're kind of those like really quick, big bang, small amount of time. I know that I can pull and make time for them every single time. So again, these play typically in under 10 minutes. There are going to be a few that I'm going to tell you you're going to have to like modify to make work, but they're worth it. So the quickest game that we have, the one that I will never say no to, because if I can't set aside 3 minutes to play a game, then I'm doing something wrong, is Blink. One of the things I love about Blink is I'm pretty sure we can play this game in under 2 minutes. Also, it is just like colors, shapes, and number representation. So you can even play this game with a child that can't read yet, which is fantastic because there are very few that you can do that with. And so this is one of those. So Blink is one that I know we can play like in a really, really quick time period. Along those same lines is Spot It. Emily and I can play probably about 3 rounds of Spot It in 10 minutes. Sometimes we will set a timer. If I'm like, okay, I have 10 minutes, let's see how many rounds we can play. And again, it is shapes that you're matching. So you can play with a child that doesn't know how to read yet. Uno is one of Emily's favorite games, but Uno is never a quick game. I mean, occasionally it is, but not very often. So I was able to find Uno Express. They also call it Uno Go, depending on where you buy it at. It is basically half a deck of Uno. So I'm sure you could probably do like your own version if you like took half the cards out, but I think there's only a draw 2, not a draw 4. So it's kind of like an express version of Uno. Like it plays in about half the time. We can typically get at least 1 round and maybe even 2 in 10 minutes. Marvel Mayhem and Dungeon Mayhem, depending on maybe like what your kids are in the mood for or what they like. If they love Marvel, obviously Marvel Mayhem. If they're into more of like the fantasy, D&D, monsters kind of thing, Dungeon Mayhem would be perfect. Both of these play in about 10 minutes. Taco, cat, goat, cheese pizza. I know sometimes this game can go on and on and on, so hear me out. The way Emily and I play when we're in a time crunch, because this is one of her favorites and I obviously want to make sure that I'm playing it with her, is that we just play until we're out of cards. So we play like through 1 round and we don't put we don't keep going until somebody's out of cards. So we'll play through 1 round and whoever has the least amount of cards in their hand wins. So that's how we modify this so that we can play in a shorter period of time, especially if you're playing with more than 2 people or like 2 to 3 people, because the more people it's not so bad, but when you get down to 2 and 3 people it can go on forever until somebody's out of cards. So we will play through like 1 time and then whoever has the least amount of cards is the winner in that case. So that's how we modify to make that work. Same thing with Avocado Smash. This one is very similar in gameplay to Taco, Cat, Goat, Cheese Pizza, except instead of saying those words, you're just counting to 15 and doing a few different actions. So same thing with this. We will either just play through 1 round, or sometimes we'll just set a timer. I'll be like, hey, I've got 5 minutes. Which one do you want to play? And then at the end of 5 minutes, whoever has the least amount of cards is the winner. And it works because we set those ahead of time, right? Like I'm like, hey, I've got 5 minutes, or hey, I've got 10 minutes. And she knows going in that that's what we're going to do. Roll for it. Color Addict. This is a lot of fun. It's kind of confusing to your eyes because you're laying down colors that maybe don't necessarily, like, for example, this card says blue, but there's not a blue dot or splash of paint on it. So it's kind of confusing. I call this like the upgrade to Blink, but it can also be played in 10 minutes. Only one round though, where we can play multiple rounds of Blink. Sherlock Express. Trash Pandas. Quick Pucks. No Thanks. Now this is a 3 to 7 player game, so her and I can't play this alone. Kevin has to play that one with us. Ghost Blitz. This happens to be Ghost Blitz 2. Both of them play relatively quickly. And then, much like Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, if you play Anemonia or 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐽, which are both really fun games and worth this modification, you're just going to play one round. So like, for example, 𝐂𝐨𝐽, in the rules it says you're going to play 10 rounds and you're going to kind of tally a score. We just play one round. So like, we deal the cards one time. Whoever gets the lowest score on that one round wins, and then that's the end of that game. And again, both of these are so much fun. It's worth modifying so that we get to play them more often. Okay, I also pulled some that are like specifically 2-player games because I wanted you to know the ones that I pull if only Emily and I are playing, and we only have a few minutes, or maybe even sometimes only Kevin and I are playing, like maybe before bed and we only have a few minutes. Or maybe you're looking for some that like you could play one-on-one with one of your kids to spend some one-on-one time with them, or for them to spend some time together, like just 2 of them. So those would be Brave Rats. This one plays in about 5 minutes. It's like a medieval Scotland rats type of game. It's super cute. Bananagram's Duel. Canoodle Head to Head. That one's kind of loud. That's another one we can probably play like 3 or 4 rounds in the 10-minute time frame. Genius Square or Genius Star. For younger kids, I would go with Genius Square or even start with Genius Square and then move up because it's kind of like, obviously a square is easier to fill in than a star. I think they even say that. Yeah, so the square is 6+ and the star is 8+, but both of them are similar gameplay. They both would play close to that 10-minute mark. And then Mancala. When we have a little bit more time, I pull from another set of games. These games play in 20 minutes or less, so they're kind of more of that 10 to 20-minute game time. So these would be ones that we would maybe like end the homeschool day with, or when we're having a game school day, we would pull, multiples from this round. Or if I'm like, hey, let's have a short version of family game night, like maybe we only have like an hour or 2 for family game night, be like, hey, let's everybody pull one from this 20-minute game stack, because there are a lot of really good ones in this stack. And so this is what we do for that. The first one I have is Splurt. It is a hilarious game. It's really simple. You just have like a 1 card with a letter and 1 card that tells you, and it's whoever can say it first. So like a song title that ends in the letter E. It really makes you think though, because it'll start stretching your brain after a while. Super Meow. That is really cute for younger kids. I pulled Zombie Kittens because this is Emily's current, but Exploding Kittens would also work. Deducto. Dragon Slayer. This is a really cute dice game. It's like a roll and pass style game. We have a lot of those. They've become favorites here recently. One Too Many Rabbits. This is dice and cards, which means it's a winner because that's Kevin and Emily's favorite. Adsmundi. And that would be any of them. So there's a little ones, a wild ones. Basically, you could use any of the Adsmundis that would work for that. And I love that I can sneak math in under 20 minutes. Cobra Paw. Now, this one can kind of go either. depending on, it's 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how many people are playing and how kind of quick you are about it. Emily and I can probably play this in 10 minutes or less. But if we're playing with 3 of us, it would kind of push to the 20 minutes. So it's one that is a quick play game, and it, you know, could kind of go either way. Like, it's not long. It's not even really that drawn out. You basically are rolling a dice and trying to be the one to grab the, like, Cobra domino style thing that matches that dice the quickest. King domino. Museum suspects. 𝐅𝐚𝐳𝐴. Ticket to Ride New York. Now, any of the ticket to rides that are like a single place. So I think there's a San Francisco, a New York. They play in about 20 minutes. Any of the other ones are not even close to 20 minutes. So keep that in mind. It has to be like the single smaller board ones to be able to play in that short time period. 𝐂𝐲𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐜. Now, with 𝐂𝐲𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐜, keep in mind that we're playing with a family of 3 and it plays in under 20 minutes. This game can play with up to 8. I would venture to say if you're playing with 8 people, it's not going to be a 20-minute game. It's probably going to be closer to 30 to 40. I mean, not ridiculously long, but it's going to be longer than 20. Monopoly Deal. 5 Alive. King's Gold. This is like a fun pirate dice game. Timeline Twist, which if you're trying to get some history in, this is a great quick way to get some history in. Break the Code. So in this game, you're making a code and then you're using different techniques to try to break the other player's codes. It is a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that one during our spy study. And then the Brave Wave games. So we have Astute Goose and Wise Whale. There's a few others in the series, but they're all about 15 minutes. Let's see. We have Quicks. Sleeping Queens by Game Right. I would say a lot of theirs. I also pulled There's a Moose in the House, Zeus on the Loose, a lot of those, Rat-a-Tat-Cat, Slam Witch, they would all be those quick play games. You can't get all of them anymore, but if you find them like on sale or you have them, pull them because they're great quick play games. Point Salad is one of their newer ones that would also work. Farting Frenchies. I think there's also like a Pooting Pugs or something. It just depends on whether your kids like Frenchies or Pugs better, but both of them are the same game with the same time frame. Pass the Pandas. That's another dice game where you're like rolling and passing and collecting different things. Strike, the dice game. We have a few different versions of this. This is the original Strike. There's a Harry Potter Strike. We also have one that's by, it's by Ravensburg as well. That's Impact. So it's more like the elements, but it's the same game itself. Let's see. And Yahtzee. We always play multiple rounds of Yahtzee because that's Kevin's favorite. So for us, that's a 20-minute. But if you had like 1, 2, or 3 players, you could probably even move that to the 10-minute, depending on how quickly you roll dice and how familiar you were with like what you were rolling. You could probably make that a shorter game. Okay, in the 20-minute category that are 2-player games, because I pulled these aside specifically, we have Mythicals, A Little Wordy. Now, this game is really similar to Break the Code, except it's a word that you're trying to figure out, but it's only for 2 players. Donuts. Patchwork Express. The box says that this plays in approximately 10 minutes. It's been more like 15 every time that we've played it, but maybe we just don't play it enough to be like that quick with it. So this one, much like Cobra Paw, may be one of those that you can experiment with and get down to that 10-minute category. Quarto, and then by the same makers, Quaffle. Both of these are really, really great games. I actually think that there's a fourth one that's Corridor, or a third one that's Corridor as well. It would probably play in that same time frame as well. These are the mini versions. I think that's what they call them. And so I like them because they take up less space on my shelf, but the larger version still plays in the same amount of time. Aqualin. Blokus Duo. I think if you were playing 4-person Blokus, I don't know that you could make it work in 20 minutes or less. I think that would probably be closer to 30. But Duo, when it's just Emily and I playing and we're only having to play the 2 colors like this, we can definitely get it in under 20 minutes. When the 2 of us were having to play 4 colors, so on the 4-color board, it was borderline whether we could get it done in 20 minutes. And then Boop, which, I mean, who doesn't want to play with adorable little kittens? I know sometimes it can feel overwhelming to try to fit just one more thing into our homeschool days. Like, we're already at our brink. We can't fit anything else in. But I hope that this encouraged you that you can still play that silly card game before lunch or something before dinner or before bed and still get some of the benefits of game schooling in a shorter amount of time. And if I forgot any of your quick play favorite games, please let me know down in the comments, because I am always looking for more games to add to this category, because I love being able to say, hey, Emily, choose any game over there, and knowing that I can, commit 10 minutes, right? I can play anything. So I would love it if you tell me your favorites in the comments.